Hey, welcome back to this Nextjs tutorial. And today in this tutorial, I will show you how to perform CRUD operation, where you will create, read, update, and delete the records from the database using the Prisma client. So let's proceed. Before performing CRUD operation, first I want to modify the model product and I want to include a extra field and I will name it category of type string and rename this field to image like this, and also include one more field which is the title of the product of type string. And here I want to make this description field as an optional field, which means while inserting a data or while inserting a product record in a product table, if you do not specify the description field, it will be a null. That means if you look at the structure of the product table that you can see here, you can see description column. This column cannot be null, which means if you do not provide a value to the description column, then it is going to show error. So maybe sometimes when you insert record, or maybe you have a product which does not have the description, so in that case the description field will be empty for that product. So here we are specifying a question mark after the data type, which means if we do not specify any string value for this field, for this column, then it will not show any error. Now we made some changes, so we need to align these changes with the database e-commerce with the product table. So here specify npx prisma migrate dev, then specify the migration name, add a field, and we have added two field, category and title, and hit enter. Now let's go back and view the changes. And now as you can see, our product table contain a two extra field, title of the product and the category of the product. So let's go back. Now we will perform a CRUD operation. So we will first learn how to insert data through a Prisma. Come back here in API products and then click on route.ts and remove all this field from here, and also remove this. From the previous video you learned Prisma provide a Prisma client that you can use to interact with the database. So make sure you have imported the Prisma client at the top of this file. Now come back here, specify here Prisma, then access the table on which you want to create data. So table is product, and then specify dot. As soon as you specify dot, it shows a bunch of functions that you can use. So here we are going to insert a new data into product table, or we can say we are going to create a new data which is related to the product. So access the function create. Now this function takes a objects, and here you're gonna specify the property data. Through this you will specify the data that you want to insert into a product table. So here first thing I want to enter the title, and the title is coming from API endpoint. So here specify body.title like this, because when we send the data through this API, you can see here, as you can see when we click on send, it sends this JSON data, and here we are receiving a JSON data as a body, you can see here. And then we are creating a new record using the create function on the product table, and we are passing the data that we want to insert into the product table. So here we will await it because it can take time, and it should be a title which is body.title. Then we have a price, body.price, and after this description, body.description, and then category of the product which is body.category, and finally image of the product. So image body.image, and as you can see here it is showing error, title does not exist, which means currently our Prisma client does not know about the new model field title. So here first stop the server and then run the command npx prisma generate and then start the server npm run dev. Now you can see error is gone. So this line create a new data and let's store it into a variable const new product like this. And now as a response we will return the newly added product. Now let's go back here and test the API. So as you can see as JSON I'm sending this product data. Now here I want to reduce this description size. Now make sure you are sending this data to add this API endpoint. So click on the send button and wait. Now as you can see we get a status 201 created, which means we have successfully created or inserted a new product detail into the product table. So let's go in the MySQL workbench and verify it. And in the query editor, run this command, select asterisk from product and click on this. And now you can see we have a new product in the product table, which has ID 1. Now we have inserted a new record in a product table using the post method and through the Prisma client. Now let's see how to retrieve that record from the table into Nextjs application. And to retrieve that record, you're going to use the get HTTP method. And in this method, we'll fetch the record from the database. So right now what happens here, we are retrieving a product data from the product array or product data.ts file that we have created. Now we want this detail or this product detail from the product table. So what we will do here, we're going to remove this products array. So remove this and now also remove it from here. So to fetch all the product data from the product table, you're going to execute the command await prisma dot, then we are going to grab all the data from the product table. So specify the table name here product. And after that, you need to access the function find many. And this find many function returns all the records from this product table. And let's store all the returned record in a variable called products and return this record as a response. Now let's go back in the browser and refresh this page. Now as you can see, we have only one record in our product table. You can see here, and the title of product is a man's cotton jacket. And you can see we fetch this record in our Next.js application, man's cotton jacket. So this line retrieve all the record from the specified table. So this is how we can access all the records from the database of a specific table. Till now, if you have any confusion related to this API endpoint like a gate or like a Prisma, I would highly recommend you to watch my previous video about how to build API or database integration. Then come back here, you will be able to understand this very clearly. Next, let's see how to update or delete a specific record. So as you can see here, in a product table, we have a single record with ID 1. And suppose you want to update the price, description, or any of this record field. So what you can do, go to the API endpoint where you have specified a put method which allows us to update the data. So here I'm going to remove all this because we don't need this. So remove this, and now here call the Prisma client and access the product table whose record you want to update. And now here call the update method, and this update method will accept two property. First property will be the record that you want to update. So here I want to update a record which has ID equal to 1. So here you can see ID is coming through the parameter or through the URL. So let's open the Thunder client and specify this API endpoint and make sure you select a put as a HTTP method. And as you can see, as a parameter from here, I'm passing and I'm saying I want to update the product with the ID 1. And through a JSON, we are sending this data. We are only updating the product price. So here increase the product price to 100. And now let's come back to route.ts file, and here id will be a params.id. But here you can see string is not assignable to type number, which means when we send this id from this API endpoint, it is received as a string, you can see here. So we need to convert this string into integer. So in a JavaScript, we have a function parse int, which converts the string into an integer like this. Now, in the update function, we have specified that, hey, we want to update the product with the specified ID. Now, next, let's provide the data or the detail that we want to update. So here, specify data, and within this, specify all the properties that you want to update. So you can update any of the properties like a title, description, price. So what we will do here, let's go back here and copy this and come back here, paste it here. Now here we will return the updated product. So this client is going to return a result. We will store that result as a updated products like this. Now we will return this updated product. So here we are calling a update method on the product table through a Prisma client, and then here we are accessing or we are finding the product with the specified ID, with the provided ID in the table product, and then we are updating the product field with the given or specified field which exists in the body. So let's go back to Thunder client, and here we are updating the product price to 100 and click on send. We get this error, 500 internal server error. Let's fix it. Let's see what is the error. So here syntax error, expected double quoted property name in JSON at position. So remove this one, this comma, and send again. Now we get the status as a 200 OK, which means we have successfully updated the data. So let's go back in the browser and refresh this. As we can see, price is not updated. Let's go back to the database and again retrieve the records, and the price is not updated. So let's go back to this route.ts file and let's see where is the error. And as you can see here, we are grabbing all these properties from the body or destructuring the properties. So specify here only a title, price, description, category, and image. And here we forget to specify await. Now let's again send this and we get 200 OK. Now as you can see, as a result, we get price as a 100. So let's go back in the browser and you can see price is updated to 100. So for that error, we made a mistake. We haven't specified the await here, and then while sending this JSON data, we have specified comma. So we remove these two things to fix the error. Remember this, you can also make this error. So this is how you can update the specific record of a database table. So let's go here and update a price to like a 500 and send this again. And you can see we retrieve a response as a 200 OK, and you can see price is updated to 500. Let's go back in the browser and refresh the page, and now price updated to 500. So this API endpoint is working or interacting with the database as we want it. Now lastly, let's see how to delete a specific record. Let's say you want to remove the record. So let's remove all this from here. First thing, call the Prisma client, then specify the table name product, and after this, call the function find unique. So this find unique function allows us to find a unique record based on the specified ID of the product or ID of the record. So here specify where we want to find this ID, id equal to params.id. Convert this params.id into a integer. So call the function parse int and params.id like this. And then store the product ID that you want to delete into the variable product ID like this. So this line will filter the product that you want to delete, and it retrieve the ID of that product and store the ID in this variable product ID. Now again here call prisma.product.delete method which deletes the specified product. So here I want to delete where ID equal to product.id like this. So let's remove this ID thing from here. Now it is clear, it is readable. So this line will delete this line deletes the product with the specified ID. So here in the first code, what we are doing, we are accessing or we are finding the record that we want to delete from the product table. For that, we call the find unique function or method and provide the ID which we are passing through this API endpoint, which is 1 in this case. So here it retrieve that product and store that product into this product variable. And after that, we are calling the delete function again on the product table and specifying the ID of the product that we want to delete. Now let's go back here and call the delete API endpoint. So here we want to delete the product which has ID 1. Make sure you select the HTTP method as a delete, and then if you have anything in the body, remove those body and click on send. And you can see we get the status as a 200 OK and a message deleted successfully. Let's go back to the database and retrieve all the record from the product table. And as you can see, the table is empty because in the table we had only one record and we deleted that record. Now let's go back in the browser and you can see the product page is empty. So this is how we can use the Prisma to interact with database to perform a CRUD operation like a create, read, delete, and update the data. Let's recap what we have learned in this tutorial. So here, first, we inserted a new record by calling the create method on the product table, and we pass the record or the data that we want to insert through the data property. Then we retrieve all the record by calling find many method on the product table, and it returns all the record of the product table. Store those record in the product variable that you can see here. And then we perform update or delete operation. So to update, we call the update method on the product table and provided the ID of the product that we want to update and the data that we want to update. Then we called find unique method to find the unique record in the table, and after retrieving that record, we call the delete method on the product table and specified the ID of the product that we want to delete or ID of the record that we want to delete. So I hope that you understand how to perform CRUD operation in a Next.js through a Prisma. So at last I want to say, don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel, and thank you.